For this exercise, we'll duplicate the composition and then pre-compose the layers, which will be easier to remap than the original. Select the marquee composition in the project panel, right up here. Choose Edit and Duplicate. A Marquee 2 composition appears in the project panel. Double-click the Marquee 2 composition. A Marquee 2 composition appears in the playlist. See it right here. In the Marquee 2 timeline panel, select the Starburst layer, and then Shift select the unlit marquee layer so that all the layers are selected. So just hold down Shift and select it. Now everything is selected. Choose Layer, Pre-compose. In the Pre-compose dialog box, make sure Move All Attributes into the new composition is selected, and then click OK. After Effects creates a new composition named Pre-comp 1, which replaces the layers you selected in the Marquee 2 composition. Now you can remap all the elements of the project at once. You're ready to manipulate the speed and direction of time in your project. With the Pre-comp 1 layer selected, make sure that's selected in the timeline, choose Layer, Time, and then Enable Time Remapping. Select that. After Effects adds 2 keyframes at the first and last frames of the layer. See, one here, one here. Visible in the time ruler. A time remap property also appears under the layer name, right here. This property lets you control which frame is displayed at a given point in time. With the Pre-comp 1 layer active, choose Layer, Open Layer, open it in the Layer panel. The Layer panel provides a visual reference of the frames you change when you remap it. See all this stuff right down here? That's what we're talking about. Displays 2 time rulers. The time ruler at the bottom of the panel displays the current time. The source time ruler just above the time ruler has a remap time marker that indicates which frame is playing at the current time. Press the space bar to preview, and notice that the source time and current time markers are synchronized. This is going to change as we remap the time. Over the first 4 seconds, the lights come on slowly. You'll speed that section up so that the lights come on twice as fast. So stop your preview. Go to 2 seconds. Change the time remap value to 4. Right now it's at 2. We're going to change that to 4. This remaps time so that the frame 4 plays at 2. In other words, the clip now plays back at twice the speed for the first 2 seconds of the composition. So go back and press the space bar, and you see the composition now runs at double speed until 2 seconds and at a slower speed thereafter. Press the space bar again when you finish previewing the animation. We're now going to use the graph editor, where we can view and manipulate all aspects of effects and animations, including effect property values, keyframes, and interpolation. Big word. The graph editor displays changes in effects and animations as a 2-dimensional graph, with playback time represented horizontally from left to right. In a layer bar mode, in contrast, the time ruler represents only horizontal time element without a graphical display of changing values. Make sure the time remap property is selected for the Pre-comp 1 layer. Click the graph editor button to display the graph editor. That's this button right here. So click that. The graph editor displays a time remap graph that shows a white line connecting the keyframes at 0, 2, and 10. The angle of the line is steep up to 2 seconds and then becomes shallower. The steeper the line, the faster the playback time. So by setting additional time remap keyframes, we're going to create complex motion effects. Every time you add a time remap keyframe, you create another point at which you can change the playback speed or direction. As you move the keyframe up or down in the time remap graph, you adjust which frame in the video is set to play at the current time. We're going to have a little bit of fun here. Select the Selection tool in the Tools panel. In the Timeline panel, go to 3 seconds. So we're going to click right here. Oops. In the time remap graph, Control-click at the line 3 to select a new keyframe. So hold down the Control button and click right here, and we have a new keyframe at 3 seconds. Drag the new keyframe down to 0 seconds. So get this new keyframe on 0 seconds right there. Go to 0. Press the space bar to preview the results of what we just did. Watch the time ruler and the source time ruler in the layer panel to see which frames are playing at a given point in time. The animation progresses rapidly over the first 2 seconds and then plays in reverse for a second, and the lights go out. The entire animation plays again. Press the space bar to stop the preview. So we're going to now adjust the timing so the lights blink twice before coming on permanently. Drag the keyframe from 2 to 1. So click here and drag this from 2 to 1. So the lights come on in the first second, and move the next keyframe to 2. So the lights will blink off. So just click here and drag this over to 2. And you don't have to make it exact, but just make sure you do it something similar to what I'm doing. Shifting the keyframe affects the timing for the rest of the clip as well. Currently it's set to play the 10-second point in the composition at 10 seconds, so the angle of speed adjusts accordingly. We're going to set the lights to blink one more time before continuing the animation. Notice how the angle for the rest of the animation changes as a result. It's going to become steeper because there's more animation to cover in less time. So Control, click the line to create additional keyframes at 3 and 4, and then move them to the 4-second and 0-second marks respectively, so the lights blink on and off again before the animation. So at 3 seconds we're going to hold Control, click, and do that on 4. Control click here. We're going to drag this one up, drag this one down. You can scale it any way you want. So now go back to the home, press the space bar, and you see how the lights blink on and off. Press space bar again. Go to 10. Enter 7 for the time remap value. So click here and type 7. Let's click File and then Save.